my channel. So today I'm going to show you guys how I am going to transform myself into Reagan from The Exorcist. So if you'd like to see how I did it, just stay
starting
tuned.
off this tutorial barefaced. I have no makeup on and I'm using this grease wheel and using the blue shade, and I'm just taking that and spreading it all over my face. I'd like to add that I'm putting it all over my neck as well because it'll serve as a primer for the face paint I'm going to add over it. I'm just taking some foundation and mixing it with some green and white face paint, and I'm just placing that all over my face. And now I'm just using a sponge and using that to blend it all in. Next, I am just taking some finishing powder and setting my whole face. Okay, so now I'm taking a grease wheel and I'm using the red color to sketch out where I want my cuts to be. So I'm using a reference picture to sketch out the cuts because it makes it a lot easier. Next, I am just taking some latex and I am outlining my cut mark. Now I am just adding a layer of cotton and then just going over that with some latex. I am using the latex to blend it into my skin and lifting the inside of the cut upwards. Now I am just repeating that process of latex, cotton, and latex. Now I am just lifting up the inside edges of my cut. So now I'm just repeating the steps for the last cut, but I know what you all are thinking. What is that? So I actually attempted to do a cut there, but I messed up, so that's why there's missing face paint there. Also, if your cut gets flat, never be afraid to add more cotton to build it up. Be sure to be very patient when you're working with latex because sometimes it can be very hard to work with. So here's me starting one of my cuts, but I ended up just time-elapsing the whole thing. I am just filling in all my cuts in time-elapse so you can see exactly what I'm doing. I actually ended up doing 3 cuts in total. So here I am getting started on the Y-shaped cut, and this was one of the hardest ones to do, and I was meaning to record it, but you know, life happens, and yeah, I'm just kidding. Now I am working on the cut on my nose, and I'm just placing down a thin layer of latex and then adding cotton over that and then adding latex over it again. And you might have to do this a few times to perfect the cut look. Now I'm getting started on my next cut, and I'm just placing latex and then adding a layer of cotton over that, and then I'm taking that latex on a brush and blending it in, and then now I'm adding some more cotton and blending that into my skin. Make sure that you're blending it into the skin while still picking up the edges for the inside of your cut. It's an important step because at any time your cut can fall down and get stuck to your skin. Now I am just taking a butter knife and I'm ensuring that the two edges don't stick together. I'm just taking the latex and further blending it into the skin. Just adding some more cotton and further building up the cut mark. So here you can see that I messed up my cut mark, and by adding more cotton and latex I was able to fix it. Okay guys, so this is what I have so far. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oops. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cuts. So, I'm gonna let this dry, and I'll be back when it's all dry. So I want to apologize for my voice sounding so groggy because I was okay. It was just that the latex was like making my mouth barely able to move, so. Now I'm just adding some foundation over it, and that's when I noticed that it looked a bit orange. Actually fix this later when I add white and browner tone shades over it. Now I'm just adding some white and mixed with a little bit of green face paint over my cut marks just to balance out the color. Now I'm adding red from a grease wheel and I am just applying that inside my cuts. Now I'm just using some eyeshadow and I'm using the dark black shade in the shade Spooky, and I'm just putting that in my inner corner. Now I am using some darker and brighter red shades like You're Kidding, No Beans, and Boutique, and I'm just spreading that all over my eye. I'm also putting some of that between my lips. Now I'm using some bright red shades, and I'm just using that to shade around the cut marks. This will help give the look more depth. I'm just doing my favorite cut part, which is I'm adding some scab blood in between all of my cuts. So you can add just some regular blood in between the cuts, but you will have the risk of it falling out. So now I am using a mixture that I made out of latex and food coloring, and it's going to resemble the vomit. I'm just putting it all over my chin area. I could have done my neck, but I didn't want to get it on the nightgown. I am using a dark green eyeshadow, and I'm shadowing the vomit. Alright, bye guys.
Alright guys, that's the end of it. I hope you liked the way it came out. If you did, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. I would love to hear feedback, so please leave your comments in the description box below. And finally, thanks for watching and supporting Skyla's Face Painting. Bye!